Most AirPods reviews talk about noise cancellation and sound, but I'll talk about something else. What AirPods really do to our life. How do they make easier to enter into a virtual world rather than being in a real one? I'll just give a quick overview on what AirPods really are. AirPods Pro is a product designed by Apple. So it's a audio device designed for immersion in any audio. They provide features like active noise cancellation, transparency and adaptive modes, spatial audio, and a deep Apple ecosystem integration. It is basically a tiny portal in your pocket which portals you into a virtual world rather than being in a real one. In this section, I'll talk about some pros and cons of Apple AirPods. First of all, they create an instant personal universe. Noise cancellation doesn't just block sounds or noises, it blocks the real world. Whenever I put these on, I'm in my own bubble. My soundtrack, my podcast, or my YouTube that I'm listening to. Apple nailed it. It's just as you see in AirPods advertisement. The instant that you put these on, you're in your own world. I appreciate Apple for designing such a great product. The next pro that I can think of is AirPods turns boring time into learning time. I have a personal example on it. Every day in the morning, I walk for 15 minutes to the gym and walk back 15 minutes. That's half an hour of my time every day that I spend listening to music or a podcast, which I'm spending learning rather than wasting my time on a walk. So I think if the time is spent well, you could use these for learning rather than just consuming any content. In a way, you can say that due to these AirPods, I'm consuming more content, but if it is a learning content, then it's a plus for you. The next pro is they help you choose immersion when you need it. Sometimes reality is noisy, stressful, or distracting. So at that times, AirPods helps you in controlling your own environment to focus on your work, lock in at gym, or calm down in a flight. And there are great features like transparency or adaptive modes to come back and going in when needed. Now let's come to the con. The AirPods make escapism effortless, and that can sometimes become an addiction. Here is my problem with them. The AirPods make virtual world way too convenient. The line between using tech and needing tech gets blurry. I'm not just listening to music. I'm avoiding silence. And when silence disappears, presence disappears. I'm not saying Apple AirPods are evil. I'm saying they are powerful. And power always has a cost when used in the wrong way. In this section, I'll talk about my personal experience with AirPods. I have bought about 4 pairs of AirPods till now. That should tell you how much I loved the product. They've been with me on my walks, gym sessions, chores, flights, and random days. They helped me in consuming more content than I would have otherwise. But I noticed something. I started filling every gap with something like music, YouTube, podcasts, even when the reality is perfectly fine. I have a story about it. As I said before, on my walks to gym, on 15 minutes walks, I could spend that time on noticing people, noticing weather, and enjoying the walk itself. But I chose to be in the virtual world, like listening music or something else. The important part, and honestly, I liked it, and that's what makes it tricky. There is one more thing I noticed with AirPods. Before AirPods, silence was normal. Standing in a line, sitting in a bus, walking alone, my brain would just wander. But after AirPods, silence started to feel like something wrong. If I wasn't listening to something, I felt like I'm wasting my time. This tiny product changed how I think about my quiet moments. And I don't think it's Apple's fault. They made an amazing product. But somehow I trained my brain to believe that every spare moment needs some sound. I have to change that. Here is my final recommendation on Apple AirPods Pro. I recommend AirPods for the same reason that I'm cautious about. They are one of the finest immersion tools that Apple has ever made. If you want a top tier product, then Apple AirPods are worth it. Just don't let them steal your quiet moments. Use them intentionally. Immersion when needed, like for workouts, flights, and presence when possible, for quiet walks, sunsets, focus, doing nothing. AirPods are amazing at what they do. The question is, are you using them to enhance life or replace parts of it? Please comment down in what ways you use your AirPods.